Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another commentary. My name is Jimmy, and I am joined by the lovely Levi. Levi, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm fine. We're going to start watching Avengers Infinity War because, we just love this movie, and our patrons picked it out for us to do a commentary on. So we're watching it on Netflix, and we're going to start at 0 seconds. So if you want to watch along with us, you can do that. And if you aren't watching on Netflix and you're watching somewhere else, we'll kind of tell you what we're seeing in the beginning so you can kind of line yourself up. All right, Levi, you ready to get this thing going?
Oh, it's such a depressing movie. Let's do it.
All right, on the K of Mark, we'll click the play button. 3, 2, 1, Mark. There we go. Okay, we should be going. That's how long this movie is like, I don't even know when it starts. Okay, so now we're starting to see the Marvel page flippies and stuff and sadness incoming.
You need some stamina to get through this movie. Like,
a little bit.
I still think that this movie is totally unrateable.
I think it's because we haven't seen the other half of it, right?
Yeah, I just want, even like when I see people's reviews about it, or every time I finish this movie, this will be like the 6th time. I'm just like, you can't give it a score.
Yeah. Fun little facts about this guy who's doing this kind of radio signal out as one of the Asgardians. That's Kenneth Branagh or whatever, the guy who directed the first Thor film.
Oh,
it's pretty fun.
Little fun fact.
Yeah. This is so funny because, like, right after Thor Ragnarok, that movie's so, like, fun and carefree, and then you just cut right to this. It's like, Didn't go super well. What do you think of Thanos' ship, Levi? Are you a fan of this one?
You kind of barely see it, but it's cool. Yeah, sure. It's big. It's
kind of like Ronin-esque.
Big and brooding.
One thing I would say is that's kind of a knock against this movie, and it's the same thing I think people would say about like Kingdom Hearts, is like, this movie's not meant to stand on its own, really, because like right here, it's already like, you can kind of piece it together, but there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Do you remember the names of these individuals?
Okay, that one is Corvus Glaive.
The guy with the spear was.
Yeah, this is the guy with the spear was Corvus Glaive. This is the Maw.
Yep, very good. Ebony Maw.
And then upcoming we have
Ladies Proxima Midnight, I believe.
Well, obviously this is Thanos.
Yeah, I forget what the big dude's name is.
I can't remember it either, but I know that, Proxima Midnight, I know her.
One thing I like, too, about this is the first time I saw it, I think I could kind of guess who he's going to pick up here, but it's a really good show of power on his part to just be like, you're like, oh, he's just picking up an Asgardian, but then you start to realize slowly that it's Thor, and you're like, what? Like, he's just picking him up.
I really hope we get to see this fight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I'm like, how could they not have done any damage here? Yeah. Like, something had to have happened where, like, he literally swooped in and then blow up, because, like, at least Thor should have taken 2 of them with him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Thor should have been able to do that.
And Loki and Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, and do you think, like, Banner was waiting in the wings, or?
That's the weird thing, is that people said that, like, right now, like, so Hulk is off to the side being quiet. Like, it doesn't really make sense, but for a movie, it's cooler, right?
Yeah.
That's a little weird. Man, Tom Hiddleston just really is fantastic. Like, seriously, one of the best villains in the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't heard for sure that this is the last we'll see of him.
Well, I know he's getting his spin-off TV series. Or they're doing something like that. Yeah. For the Disney streaming service.
Disflix?
Yeah, Disflix, man.
Disflix, featuring Loki.
Yeah. Dang it, Loki. I don't understand how, like, I know it's magic, but, like, they can just make things appear out of thin air, like, right in front of their hand. I'm like, how did you do that?
I think it's there, but Loki's so good at, making things, like, disappear.
Sure.
So I think, like, kind of like with his daggers, like, they're always there, but, like, you don't know that they're there.
Sure. Which he doesn't use his daggers enough, I feel like.
No, I don't think Loki's much of a really big fighter.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of a bummer that this is the only real time in at least in Infinity War that you see Thanos' armor.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the coolest parts of him. I was wondering how they were going to get that to come alive on the big screen.
Sure.
Because his armor in the comic books doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, this does look really nice.
Yeah. And just like throat punches, the Hulk, and Hulk is like, oh, well, this is new.
I kind of wish we didn't have this fight. I know it sounds sad, but like, Hulk, like, the only thing that Hulk does is just gets beat up in these movies. Like, he doesn't win ever, and it's just like, oh, look how quickly he was beaten here. It's like, whoa, really? I don't know. Maybe.
Just to really throw the,
Yeah. Just to make sure people knows that he's really strong, and I get that. Now, apparently, in earlier drafts of this film, they were actually going to kind of discuss more about the Black Order, but the Russos decided that there was just too many, characters in it already, so why would they spend any more time, on these other...
I can appreciate that they just jumped right into it.
Yeah.
And here's the last time we'll ever see Idris Elba.
Yeah, I don't think he liked playing Heimdall. I remember reading something where he was not into it anymore.
I heard that character, and then there was a character from Ragnarok 2 that they killed off that was super glad to get away.
Yeah, it was Zachary Levi.
He's in, what is he, Shazam now?
Yeah, Shazam.
Yep.
Well, it's because it's
he
funny,
was actually happy about that.
He wasn't in the first Thor. It was another guy, and then they got him in for the second and third.
Yeah, I know he was mad because they didn't do a lot of the cool stuff they did in the comics, but it's like,
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Can't always do it.
I wonder how much they had to pay Idris Elba for this one, or if it was just part of a contract, because, like, he barely does anything, and I wonder... Heimdall. I wonder how much they actually had to pay him.
Probably just enough for one scene, honestly.
It's times like this, and I think this movie does it more so than any other that I've seen for comic books, but when I watch it, like this scene and then a fight coming up makes me feel like I'm watching like a Saturday morning cartoon, but in like a really good way. Like, like they took a Saturday morning cartoon really, really seriously. Like this feels like that.
Yeah. What do you think about like the CGI in this movie?
Oh, like I don't know. I think it's pretty incredible for the most part.
Just like Thor pulling off his armor and like it's not real, but like
sure,
is it convincing enough for you?
I guess yeah. The armor that bothers me is actually Iron Man's.
Yeah,
there's something about it that looks a little fakey to me the whole time, and it's not that
I miss his old suit.
Yeah, I just remember the Mark II and remember thinking like that was such a sexy looking suit. Like, I love what his new suit can do because it's like Blue Beetle, but
and what is it? It's not really a suit. It's like part of him or what?
Oh, this one I think it's
like nanotechnology and like.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of like comes out of that chest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Loki is still trying to parlay like something here.
Yeah.
I will say that Josh Brolin really crushes it with this role, and it was weird to see this and then, see him as Cable in Deadpool 2 and think like, wow, you deserve so much better than just Cable. Not that Cable is bad, but...
Well, and they made a Thanos joke too, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds or Deadpool did.
So is the spinoff going to be like centering around him after this, or do you feel like he might actually show up in Endgame, or?
Oh, Thanos?
No, Loki.
Loki, I don't think they'll bring Loki back, and the reason why...
You think that's a permadeath?
I think it might be, and I think what they'll do is they'll do some sort of like prequel thing for that TV show, because, here they even state that there's like no more resurrections or anything like that, to kind of make the stakes stand.
Yeah, because they gotta have... I mean, if they're gonna bring back a lot of people later on, they have to have some kind of real deaths.
Yeah, exactly. Not that they couldn't. And I honestly... I know they're trying to go for like an artistic vision, but at the same time, you gotta remember that this is like a business, and that's why they're not throwing Loki away completely, right?
Yeah. Well, and he's a fan favorite too, so that's hard.
Yeah. I do like how brutal this is, though. Like,
yeah, you just hear his neck snap, and he's...
Yeah, because usually it's like a stab, and they kind of like their eyes shut or whatever, but he just like straight up strangles him. There's like blood coming out of his eyes, and you're like, oh my gosh, like just kind of chucks him down here, and you're like, what? Like,
when does he say no more resurrections?
I think he says like,
did I miss that?
Right here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like Marvel.
How does he know that?
I don't know. I think.
Oh, because Loki worked for him. I remember.
He did. So maybe that was the whole thing. Was he's like, oh, I know that Loki kind of makes himself look like he's dying all the time. I do like that purple fire, and it's consistent throughout like Guardians 1, where it's like destructive, and I really enjoy that. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, why do you think Thanos took so long to do this plan? Because
I don't know.
He literally could have just done this during Avengers 1.
Yeah. He
didn't need like them to do a full scale. Do you think he was just testing everybody's skill over the last couple attacks?
He might have been. Another kind of theory I have is where he spent a long time just trying to get the Power Stone off of Xandar with the Nova Corps, because we don't really see that fight. And I would imagine it would have been pretty tough, especially after... Well, maybe not, because they were kind of weakened afterwards. I don't know. It's a good question. By the way, I love how that shoots into Doctor Strange right there. They tip the camera to make it look like, oh, hey, Doctor Strange is coming,
Yeah, and maybe we'll see that fight, too, in Endgame.
I wish. I wanted to see that fight so badly, but...
Yeah, because I'm assuming we'll have to, because there's... what's his name? From Walking Dead. Like, shouldn't he have fought against them, like, to help out, and...
Which guy from Walking Dead?
Negan. Oh wait, no, he's dead. What's his name with the whistling arrow?
Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's out in space.
But though the Ravagers should have helped out though.
Yeah, maybe they will show up still. I do love right there. Now we're finally getting into the actual movie. They're like, hey, yep, this is the movie, and even Doctor Strange doesn't know who Thanos is. It's like, oh,
yep,
okay.
This scene bugs me.
Why does it bug you?
I don't know. It's just classic, like, Tony running away from Pepper kind of deal, like,
Sure. I wish she wasn't back, personally. I get that the whole point is to, like, ground Tony and make him have something to lose. But when she showed back up in Homecoming, I was so surprised. I thought she was out forever.
Yeah. Because they broke up in, like, the third one, right?
He was saying something. It was Civil War. Remember, they were like,
they're taking
Pepper
a break.
Yeah, they're taking a break. Yeah. It's like, ugh. Yeah, it's fine. Their chemistry is fine enough. Like, I buy it that they're in, like, basically an old married couple. Almost,
Yeah.
It just makes...
Well, and, like, why would you be mad at him for protecting you,
Sure. I just, like... I feel like Iron Man 3 and Thor 3, or Ragnarok, it feels like both those movies have been so brushed under the rug. Because, like, in Ragnarok, Thor loses Mjolnir, and he loses, his eye. But he gets them both back, basically, in this movie. In Iron Man 3, he gets rid of all of his suits, and he's like, I'm done. It's like, no, man, he's back.
Yeah.
I also love that Stephen Strange is a super creep, and he knows, like, everything about everyone.
Yeah.
And you love Cumberbatch, don't you, Levi?
I do. I absolutely love Cumberbatch. I love Doctor Strange. I can't wait for a sequel.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I wonder who they're going to get. Like, Baron Mordo, I guess, is a villain, but...
Because we've only really seen Strange in, 2 movies now, right? Doctor Strange and then now this one.
Well, we saw him briefly, remember, in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Just enough to have a funny little cameo.
Yeah. I will give the movie this, that they do try to explain Thanos and the Infinity Stones a little bit for anyone who just hasn't seen it, like any of these. But it's still really crazy.
Yeah. They just have to really hope that, hey, we hope that the audience has really been paying attention to the last 10 years, but, just in case they haven't.
Now, I know we don't know exactly what the Soul Stone does, but which to you of the stones, like, would you want the most?
That's a good question. Reality doesn't... I don't really like the Reality Stone. I like the Time Stone.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I think it's...
Not to play on Dr... You know... To play on his favorites, but I like that.
Well, I feel like arguably it's like the freaking like most powerful stone, right?
Well, it's like we were just talking about with Harry Potter. Like, is it too cheap?
Yeah, exactly. One thing people have commented on is that right there, Tony's stretching because he's like, "This is it. This is the final thing that I've been waiting for." Like he's been talking about all these years, and he's like getting ready for the fight. It's great.
Hoka burning fudge. I love that.
So, do you think Tony...
Would you try that flavor?
I would try that flavor. Oh, for sure. I'd try almost any of these flavor, but Hunka Burning Hulk's probably my favorite. But do you think Tony Stark put that cell phone that Steve Rogers gave him, that burner phone, he just takes it with him everywhere?
I think he does. In times like these, he knew something was going to come. I know Tony like really felt it, so I'm not surprised.
It's weird, like, you know, I complained about Ragnarok and 3, like Iron Man 3 kind of getting like kind of brushed over. And I guess you could say that kind of for Civil War, but like the thing I like about Civil War is that nobody died, but it still felt like it had stakes, and right here, right now, we're feeling it. Like he's like, we broke up, you know, we're not like Steve should be here, like Cap should be here, and there wouldn't be a problem. Like one of the biggest problems is just like getting the band back together, right?
Yeah. Well, at the same time, like, I mean, we talk a lot of trash about Thor Ragnarok. It's not an unwatchable movie.
Oh no, it's
just movie. There's just a lot to gripe about.
Yeah, I think objectively, well, nothing's completely objective, but I'd still say I think I gave it like an 8 or an 8.5. I think it's good. It just feels really inconsequential.
There's just a lot to pick apart.
Yeah,
there really is.
And I prefer my superhero movies to be more like this, more like Civil War, where it is serious, but it's still kind of fun. Like some of these other movies it's just too wacky, just too fun the whole time.
But, you know, at the same time, it is outlandish, you know.
Oh, for sure,
It's definitely getting up there. Like, so I could see why you could, you know, relate to like a Sunday morning cartoon.
Yeah. He's like just about to call him. See, I would have called him right there, and then I would have been running out the door. The Sanctum Sanctorum, by the way, is such a cool set. Like, the Doctor Strange stuff, I can't wait till Disney gets to implement more of this stuff in the parks, because it'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so his hair is moving now. Later on, his hair is moving in one of the spaceships, when I'm pretty sure there isn't any wind blowing in there, and it's always bothered me. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I think it's like... Yeah, I think it has something to do with like Doctor Strange being in tune with like the elements.
Maybe.
I'm hoping I'm not reaching there, but that's honestly what I'm thinking.
But like right here, he's just saying it's just the wind because this super crazy machine is doing that.
Yeah.
I like Tony's little running outfit.
Do you?
Yeah, and I like that he helps that lady up because he's still like a hero, you know.
Yeah. I don't like Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say I miss Jarvis, like being with him.
And is Friday the same chick in Spider-Man's suit?
No, that's Karen.
Or who? Karen. I like Karen.
Karen's
She's
great. And you know who Karen is,
I just don't. No, I don't.
That's Jennifer Connelly.
Oh,
she's
okay.
actually Paul Bettany's wife, the guy who does Jarvis and Vision.
Okay. I just was not a big fan of Friday.
Yeah,
Jarvis just had such a personality to him. Like,
yeah.
So Karen was great to, you know, replace that, but
yeah,
we're all gonna die.
I love that.
I love Ned.
Yeah, I love that the first shot we see of Peter though too is like the goosebumps or like his kind of spider sense, because like I think a lot of people in the theater, when you see that he's in this movie, you're like, oh my god, like.
Well, and on top of that, what's really nice is I mean, that really sparked a lot of excitement in the trailer for Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember picking that part out and be like, oh, yeah, Spider-Man. Because, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but Spider-Man was, like, pretty new at that point.
Well, we had him in Civil War, which was kind of the big turning point, you know, and then Homecoming. So it wasn't so much that he was new, it's just that he was, like, new to the MCU.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, those are the Winds of Watum, I believe, that Doctor Strange just used right there.
The what?
The Winds of Watum.
Ah. Where it kind of like creates a barrier that...
Yeah, Doctor Strange is so cool. Like, he's got so many powers. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, but I love it.
Is he in any like really cool games? Like any Marvel games or anything?
Well, he's a pretty decent fighter in like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think he's in some of the Ultimate Alliance games, but not to this extent, as you probably want him.
And there's something coming out with a Switch, right? Marvel
Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see a lot of these characters on there.
Yeah. I love that the first thing that Tony does is like try to scare him off. Mm-hmm. He's like, maybe this will work.
Squidward.
Gotta love the SpongeBob jokes.
Yep.
I liked this the first time, I think, but on repeat watchings and viewings, the whole like impetus joke of being like, oh yeah, Banner can't make it happen in front of the wizards, like, it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah. This bugs me, yeah.
And I think what they said is the rationale behind it is that he's just been losing so much lately that Hulk doesn't want to come out.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too, is that he's scared.
Yeah. Here we go, where it's like the fight that I'm thinking about, where it's like Saturday morning cartoon level, where it just gets out of control. You've got like a flying space wizard fighting these other human space wizards, and just like, yeah.
Yeah, something about... I mean, Tony's... It's cool, but at the same time, there is a weirdness to it. It's like... Because it's so, like, on his body,
Yeah, I think it's like the sheen, or it makes it, like, seem completely unrealistic, Like, whereas the other suits, they typically feel like they are grounded, kind of, in some sort of reality, but...
Yeah.
The ability to make portals like that is ridiculously strong, too. Like, you just be like, oh, there's a problem? Bye. Just send it away.
I love that scene, by the way, where he just slices that car in half.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's so good. I like Ebony Maw as far as powers go. I like the telekinesis,
Yeah. So is Thanos just banking on that, like, hoping that none of his, his snap wouldn't kill, like, half of his, forces?
Yeah, I guess at that point he doesn't care, maybe? I don't know.
Well, and they're cool for it, because they're, like, in a cult. So they're like,
basically.
yeah, if I die from it, it's,
There's crazy kids.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't really like Manic Banner.
I get the kind of,
You get the joke, yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that we get Spidey in here, who just comes out of nowhere to save him, and he's just...
They did such a great job putting Spidey in this universe.
Yeah.
He fits in just fine. I was worried about that, but he fits just nice.
Well, yeah, and there's something on top of it where you remember that, like, Homecoming was so much about, like, winning Iron Man's approval and trying to understand how to be a hero without having the suit and all the powers and stuff, and...
I love them just working together to...
Yeah, the magic is, like... I don't know what it is, like... And I don't want to blame the first Doctor Strange, but they didn't go as crazy as they should have in some respects, I don't think. Where this movie is not afraid to, And that close shot of Ebony Maw is, like, really good.
Yeah. Well, what was he going to do here?
He was going to bust out the Time Stone and basically use it as a trump card, I think. Where is Wong?
Oh, he just got his ass kicked by that water.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like, the water, like, hit him, and...
I don't like to, make a top 10 list here, but I will say that the Cape, whose name I'm blanking on right now, Doctor Strange's cape. Do you remember the name of it?
His cape?
Yeah.
I didn't know his cape had a name.
Was it like the Cloak of Levitation?
Oh, Doctor Strange's cape. The what is it?
Is it Cloak of Levitation?
Cloak of Levitation, but it's got like a real name too.
Either way, I love how much personality it has.
I know. It's like its own little side character.
I like that hammer kind of claw thing has that like electrical charge or output, and it kind of messes up the suit. Oh, see, there's Wong. He's fine. Yeah.
I just lose his arm here. It's like, this is how you could have got the why didn't you do this with Thanos?
I know people were... I remember trying to watch... It was like a video on it where someone was saying, like, the reason they didn't try to just chop his arm off, but I don't remember what. Like, he was too powerful with the stones at that point or something. I don't know. Also, do you think that, like, big circular spaceship that they came down with in the beginning was just, like, them landing and that's how much damage it caused upon landing there? Because, like, it looks like one of those, like, world's engines from, like, Man of Steel kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think that works really well right now for Peter is the fact that he's still a kid. He still doesn't understand everything. He's not a very competent Spider-Man, even though he's got plenty of skills. But I'm excited to see him like grow, and then eventually be in more of like the Iron Man role.
Well, it's funny putting this and Sam Raimi's films back to back. Like Tobey Maguire barely fit into high school a role. Like Peter fits in just perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I guess
because you look at like Kirsten Dunst and you look at you look at them and you're like, you're too old to be in high school.
I'd say the same about like Andrew Garfield.
And then James Franco, though, like, look at him. He's like a 30-year-old man in high school.
Yeah. They do that a lot with these movies.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah. They got smarter about it, and they're like, we're going to start using younger actors finally.
Yep.
Because when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, is that how like we're going to look when we get in high school? And it's like, no.
I think I bought Toby more because he wasn't in high school super long, whereas like Andrew Garfield was the whole time.
Yeah.
Because like Toby, they're like, he's going to college, and you're like, okay, cool, I buy this now.
Yeah. And Pete's in his last year? Is he a senior this year? Is he a senior next year?
He was either a freshman or a sophomore in Homecoming, so he's probably
I think he was like a sophomore.
Yeah. Wow, nice find, Banner. Too bad they didn't bring Wong with them. I know that like the Sanctum remains unguarded and there's like other threats out there, but at the same time it's like ugh. One other thing they do really well is like, we talked about the whole like tilting the camera to show that it was Doctor Strange, but just saying space and playing this music, already that it's Guardians, because Marvel's done such a good job of kind
marketing
of
that.
Yeah, well, and just like basically, showing that attribution to these things, to these characters.
Yeah. I remember just being filled with joy when I saw this scene.
Yeah. I'm just not... I don't know. The Guardians are fine to me. They're fine. I think I've just gotten a little over them myself, but I know some people still love them. I still think Rocket is the best part of the Guardians, though. He's so good.
Yeah. It's so funny just hearing Bradley Cooper in this kind of role.
Well, can you hear him anymore? Because when I hear Rocket, I don't.
Can't.
Yeah.
No, I just
can't.
He
does such a good job.
I mean, if you listen for it, you can.
Yeah.
If you picture Bradley Cooper when you're listening to him, but yeah.
I just think he's just so good.
Do you feel like they just took Chris Pratt's character from Parks and Rec and was like, we're gonna kind of use that same kind of personality and just really incorporate that into Star-Lord?
Yeah, I think, but honestly, I feel like that's just the case for some of these actors where, they just kind of play themselves in a bunch of roles, even though you could look
and if you look at Jurassic World, is he pigeonholed now in that comedic
he's a little more of a macho man in Jurassic. That's what I was going to say, is that in those ones they make him be the pure alpha male, whereas in these ones he's kind of almost like Beta, where he's kind of trying to prove himself all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. it works for him though. It's very bankable, as you'd say, and I envy it. You know, man, if you get to be in like Marvel and Jurassic, you know, franchises, like that's nuts.
It was just weird to see him go into a different role, like do like, you know, like a serious role after that.
Yeah, and not to say that he hasn't done serious roles, because I think he has like Zero Dark 30 and other stuff, but you know, I think the comedy is where it's at for him. And you see Chris Hemsworth going that way too. He's been doing a lot more comedy stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love just Rocket throwing shade at him. Just like, I wonder how long the makeup for Drax actually takes, because like you look at the detail that they do with like all of his tattoos and stuff, and it's so crazy good.
Yeah, it probably took a long time. It's not a lot of prosthetics, so it's mostly like
just paint.
Yeah, paint. I want to commit.
Was Bowflex back in the 80s? Would Peter know about that?
Probably. Kinda. 80s, 90s.
I wonder if it was tough, you know, because you look at like James Gunn, who did the first two Guardians films, and to have so much of the payoff be here, and he helped out a lot with this movie, I think, and wrote a bunch of stuff, but maybe it was frustrating for him because he wanted some of these like the romantic beat, you know, with Gamora and Star-Lord to play out in, you know, the third one, but it's like, no, that's happening in this film, you know.
Mm-hmm. I really do like Gamora.
I like Gamora too.
She is just what fans want from Black Widow. You know, like,
oh my
she
God,
is
dude,
like the space Black Widow.
Yeah, and she's way better, and she's got superpowers and stuff, and
yeah, I like her personality a lot more.
Yeah.
Black Widow's personality to me is just very like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry for everybody out there that loves Scarlett Johansson, but she's okay.
She just
Zoe
seems
Saldana just has
yeah
a great personality to her.
Side note, I actually have that blanket that's on Thor's back, like that same exact blanket.
What?
Like, it's not the one they use in the film, but I have like that blanket.
Oh, screenshot or it didn't happen?
I will, and then I'll wear it, and people will be like, "Yeah, right." Like Chris gave this to me. I'll tweet it at him. Yeah, Zoe Saldana's great. I think I told you this, Levi, but like back when Pirates, the first Pirates came out, where she was in it. Do you remember that she's in that movie?
Oh my God, she is. She's like but she's not in it very long though.
No, which is sad because it's like they tried to do a cool female badass pirate, and she's barely in it. But
because she slaps him, right?
Yep, and she's like wearing the hat. You know, you don't know. But what's crazy about that is like she was almost turned off to doing big movies because that shoot was like 3 or 4 months long, and she didn't want to be away from her family, so she almost stopped doing, I guess, like a lot of these big pictures, which I'm glad she didn't, because we have Gamora now.
Yep. It gets a little too slapstick for me here.
Well, it's like it's almost just too cornball-y, where it's like they kind of did this joke for the kids, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I do like Mantis.
I like Mantis too, even though I feel like it is strange that she joined the crew. You know, she kind of just, almost by default, they just are like, yeah, you're part of our crew now.
Because all she knew was Ego, so...
Yeah, that's true. Which now she's following Peter, which is not a lot better than Ego, like, sometimes.
Yeah.
I like that Kurt Russell, though. Gamora's hair is really pretty.
It is, and it doesn't look like a wig either.
No.
You know?
I like her makeup and stuff, too. I think they do a really good job of having, like, the little accents on her cheeks.
I think they're going back to the old style of Black Widow's hair, too, in the next one. Because it's going to be, like, the older style of all of them, you know?
Yeah, well, there might be, like, time stuff involved, so that's why they'll jump back to it. Because I know in that trailer I saw, she still had the short blonde hair.
Yeah.
This has been a question that people have kind of thrown around a bit, and I'm interested to hear what you think, Levi. If Thor and Hulk were around for Civil War, which side do you think they would have been on?
What was the question?
If Thor and Hulk were around during Civil War, which side would they have been on? Cap's side or Tony's side?
I think Thor would have been around Cap's side, because I don't think Thor and Iron Man have ever really gotten together.
Yeah, I don't think he trusts
really
him.
gotten along.
Yeah.
And I think Hulk would have gone with Tony because I think they like each other.
It's like at first you think like Hulk would want to be with Cap's side for freedom, but you'd think that, Banner would have said like, oh yeah, we should, register and check people at the door and, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some good little bits of writing in here, and I just think Rocket is just so good. Ugh.
Yeah. You think Rocket's just being a coward here, or do you think, like...
I think it's a combination. I think he wants to go where the weapons are, but he also thinks there's less of a chance of him running into Thanos here. I feel like Groot is kind of wasted in this movie, and I get the whole, like, yeah, he's a teenager, and he's got to grow up and all that stuff, but still.
He has some cool scenes.
Yeah.
Like when he helps with the axe. I really liked that scene.
That's, like, the best part, though, right?
Yeah.
He does have that moment with Steve Rogers, but... Man, it's so crazy that they just jump from, like, group to group to group.
They can't waste time. Mm-mm.
I don't like that she calls him Viz, but I get the whole point of calling him Viz because that way it shows that they're like not on a serious formal basis.
Am I the only one gotta keep this show PG, but
you don't.
There's just I can't be the only one that has thought of how they fit together.
Yeah.
Like how does that love thing work for them? Because he's not a real human.
Yeah. Well, if you recall, I think we've talked about this, but in the comics, to have kids, she makes the kids with her powers. And then one day, Mephisto, which is basically Marvel's Satan, comes and he reabsorbs them.
Oh, Jesus.
It gets really weird. So...
Yeah, because Quicksilver is her kid, right?
No, that's her brother.
Oh, yeah, but it's Magneto's kid.
Yeah.
So that would have made Magneto and her together?
No, it would not. That would make Magneto her father as well, because
that's right, okay.
They're the twins or whatever.
The family tree is going to get real weird here with the Disney merger.
That's okay. Well, the thing is, they could easily retcon the whole, if they were mutants or not, because they could have always had those powers, and they would have just been latent, and the, Loki's scepter would have brought it out in them, or whatever else.
So do you think, is Hulk a mutant then? Is Spider-Man a mutant?
Okay, so technically, I don't think Spider-Man is a mutant, because he didn't have the powers to begin with.
But the radioactive spider gave it to him, right?
Yeah, I think mutants, it's like a gene. You have it.
Did they show that too?
The spider bite, no.
I haven't watched Homecoming in a while.
No, they don't. Which is great. I respect it. It's not showing Bruce Wayne's parents dying. It's we all know it. We all know what happened.
Yeah. But I think they show a slap shot of it, right? Or they show a spider bite. They don't even show that? Or am I thinking of The Amazing Spider-Man, where they just show a snippet of it,
No, in Amazing Spider-Man, he goes into another lab room where there's a ton of spiders and webs and stuff. It's really weird. This part is what I would consider to be the most jarring for newcomers, because you just watched a regular man turn into a magenta wielding, or magenta flying cape wielding weirdo.
I never looked at it that way. Yeah, you're right.
Because we all get what happens when he got stabbed, but if you didn't,
and doesn't Viz really remind you of that dude from the Justice League?
Oh, for sure. Are you talking about Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Or some might call him Red Tornado. There's also that option.
I really hope I'm alive the day that they do a Avengers versus Justice League movie.
That would be cool. As cool as that would be, and I'm sure it would be great. And I'm sure they do a ton of fights where it just kind of like is not really apparent who won.
Yeah.
The Justice League is ridiculous. Like, everybody on the team is so strong.
Yeah, but I think that's what would make it like a really cool concept.
Yeah, true. I don't really like that Scarlet Witch like fights like melee. I think she gets forced into it, but I feel like she's so cool at a distance where she's like doing all of her spells and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like, where did they come from? Did they know that they were going to be here?
They tracked him down. They tracked the stone, right? Because they can do that, I guess. It's probably smart that they crippled Vision like this early on, because he is actually pretty ridiculous. So they're probably yeah, it has to be like a sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for Paul Bettany. Like, I don't feel bad, that he's getting paid a lot and he's acting. He's getting to do what he loves, hopefully. But the amount of makeup he has to go through is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, good way of calling it.
I'm trying to think of what movie like they had to do makeup for so long, and yeah.
So like, did she hear Cap? Like, why is she looking? She's just like, oh, I noticed something.
She can sense him, I think.
Oh God, I love him so much. I know he's not the most powerful, but there's something about Captain America. They play this music, and I just get goosebumps every
I love
time.
his beard. People don't like it, but I love it.
It's fine. I think it's good that they're gonna shave it, but I think now,
it's a point. Like, he's been underground, and
Which is funny because like I look at Sam and then Natasha, and that they've barely done anything to change.
Wasn't Natasha against him?
Yeah,
during
and
Civil
then
War?
she changed sides at the end. I just don't believe for a second that Black Widow is going to be able to compete with these guys. Like, I know she's skilled, but she's not super strong, and like,
she's got other talents that she could use. She's more of a spy.
Yeah,
that's why she worked so well in Iron Man and Iron Man 2. You know?
Agreed.
But then they were like, no, let's bring her to the forefront of these like battles, and it's like, but why? You see her running like towards them in Infinity War, and you're like, or Civil War, and you're like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Good thing nobody's trying to
zap
kill her.
Somebody with your baton.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, man, they hate on.
No, people need to know this. I don't like Black Widow, and it's further exacerbated by the fact that like they took away the one cool aspect of her to me as just a regular old American, is that she was Russian and she had like the cool long red hair, and she was kind of like, you never could trust her. Now it's like, make her blonde, take away the Russian accent. She's pretty trustworthy now. Like, what are you? Like, Cap's hair looks good, and I think I've heard that it is a wig.
What?
It might be a wig.
Just hearing,
I could be wrong on that.
Just seeing that, Cap in, just seeing Cap in, I lost my train of thought.
A Quinjet?
No, just seeing Cap in the trailer, really.
Oh yeah.
Sparked something in you.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like, because you expect Iron Man to be there, and he gets his little intros and stuff, but everybody knows that like when Cap shows up, there's something about it where you're like, oh my gosh, like something's happening, something's going down. Also, I like the fact that they respect you enough as an audience to know that this is a flashback,
Yeah.
They show like the spaceships and everything.
It's weird how it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I love this little bit though. I love his armor looks so good.
Yep.
I love that you get to see like his old invasion force, which was like the Chitauri with like the Leviathans, those big kind of floating worm dragons. Whales. Oh, there's Ebony Maw right there. I've never noticed that. I've heard him talk, but I didn't realize he's just standing there.
So the new army, what is that from? Like those like creatures.
Oh, those are like some sort of scientific mutation thing. I don't know who made them, but just CG monsters, right?
Yeah. I wonder if we'll hear about their backstory too, like where he put together that army.
Yeah.
Because they're like dog things. They're like...
Yeah.
This part's sad.
I like that they show, like, he's killing half, but you also have to think that, like, he's still killing other people who are just fighting him right now, right? Like, he didn't get everybody here. Also, it would be kind of nice for someone somewhere to say, like, oh, the Infinity Stones can't make more matter or something, you know? Like, because that's the whole big plot holes. They're like, why didn't Thanos just, like, double the size of the universe or double the resources or whatever? Do you buy their romance?
Chris and Zoe?
Yeah, or just Star-Lord and Gamora?
Yeah. I do, but it feels weird at the same time.
I do? I feel like she's just, like, finally given up. Because, like, in both Guardians 1 and 2, it feels like he's just kind of just picking away at her, and she's finally just like, yeah, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I just think she's so good. This part also bothers me because she knows how big of a deal all this is. And she knows how to get to Vormir and all this stuff. I don't know how she figures that out. I feel like they can make a spin-off of that. But if she's worried, then it's almost like she needs to take it on herself to be like, hey, kill me right now. Like, don't wait. Because if he's going to kill half of everybody or more, just kill me. Just, like, it's better this way. Which Guardian do you think would be the most willing to kill her? Would it be, like, Rocket?
God, you almost have to say Mantis because they don't really have a history.
Yeah. Yep. Chris Pratt just gets to be this guy and kiss Zoe Saldana. That's what he's getting paid to do. And then have Dave Bautista watch him. Like a creep.
How do you think that looks on paper when you're looking at this movie for the first time?
Yeah, weird. I remember this bit played really well.
Yeah, theaters loved it.
That's one thing they're not afraid to do, though, like the Russos and Marvel as a whole, is like, even if it's a serious thing, I think the Russos probably do it best, but they still have like fun with it. Like, there's still comedy throughout this movie, even though it's a pretty dour film.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes one of the weird mini shots I don't like. And I don't know why it's so specific, but this little bit...
I'm so glad you said that. I don't like this either.
Okay.
Especially when, like, the Collector's dead, and, like, he's, like, waving at him.
Oh, that part's weird, too.
That bugs me.
This is the part where I'm talking about. It's hyper-specific. It's, like, right here. When they're coming down the ramp, they do a wide shot of them coming down the ramp, and then they do a zoomed-in shot from an angle underneath them while they're walking down the ramp, and it seems very unnecessary. This part right here. I guess I didn't do a wide shot, but still, and then they pan to a wide right there. It's the opposite way.
Yeah.
Flip that. It's stupid. It's little.
Yeah.
I do like that he is right now using the Reality Stone, like, really well.
Yeah, that's not what bugs me. It bugs me, like, the Collector's, like, is the Collector dead? You know? Like, do you think he killed him?
I don't know if he did kill him. But
or if everybody escaped.
The weird thing is that Thanos he like knows and does a really good Collector impression, right?
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, like, did everybody die here? What happened?
Yeah, I think he killed everybody because when they take it away, it's just like fire, right?
Yeah, because you see this area, and then what in the first one?
Yeah. That's another weird thing about this is that I know those two from the Sicario films, and it's so crazy to see how different they are. Sicario.
What is that?
It's like these movies about Mexican drug cartels and hitmen and stuff.
Josh Brolin and what was his name?
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. Oh, Benicio del Toro. That's the guy from
everybody's favorite Star Wars film.
Yeah,
The Last Jedi. He's got the stutter. Everybody loved him so much. He won all the Oscars. No.
Yeah, that's a whole different commentary, but that poor film.
Yeah.
Sleepy baby.
I will say that I do enjoy the fact that they did set up, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the whole, Gamora and Drax, hatred for Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't like about the Guardians, that they don't seem like a team. They rarely ever work together, right?
Yeah. We might see more of that in 3, but...
Yeah. Oh man, I do like she uses that little double-edged knife that he gave her. And she's basically using it almost emotionally so. Or she thinks she is, right? I love the peach fuzz, on Thanos' face. That level of detail is just so good. I wonder if she really thought this was going to work. And, did anyone in the theater think it was actually going to work? Because I remember seeing it and thinking, yeah, no. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite part, Levi?
Yeah, this part bugs me. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it seems a little over the top. So, Thanos is making him say that,
Yeah. But did I?
I'm not a huge fan of the reality going away shift. The red doesn't look super great. I don't know. It seems like a weird effect.
Oh, that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I think that looks okay.
I guess mostly when a person disappears, it's oh.
Yeah.
The CGI they did for Thanos is so good. It's kind of up there for me when I look at not Thrall. Who's Thrall's dad? Duratan from Warcraft. Say what you will about Warcraft, but the CGI for that movie on those orcs was incredibly good. Okay, so is he
that bugs me so bad.
What bugs you?
Just that it's so goofy looking that he does that.
Yeah, why doesn't he just kill him? I get it's emotional, he's supposed to kill her in this moment.
Yeah.
But now that what you've seen, Thanos can do, do you think for a second, your gun's gonna work if she's the ticket to getting to Vormir?
Yeah, I don't think so.
God. I think Thanos just likes to screw with people. Maybe that's why he's so weird. Yeah. It's he's waited so many years to get down here. And now he's finally here. He's I'm just gonna mess around.
I really appreciate the writing they did too with that.
Yeah. It kind of would have been cool to have another villain show up at some point and almost kill Gamora, and Thanos save her and be no one's gonna kill my daughter, or something like that.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. I still want Ultron to come back. There wasn't enough Ultron.
I heard a theory that he might be back in the next one.
God, there should have been...
Because he's out there.
Yeah, it kind of could be. Just with time, the age of Ultron, I want there to be with Thanos. I want there to be time. I want time to pass and feel oh yeah, he's still around.
Yeah. Yeah, Ultron's out there. He's just biding his time.
Peter, you
gathering
big,
his
idiot.
strength.
Yeah.
Feels like Voldemort.
Yeah. He's waiting.
Yeah.
He just needs some creepy little man that could transform into a rat who belongs to a boy to come save him. Classic Ultron story.
Harry Potter rebooted by Marvel.
I was trying to think of why the military didn't help out with all this stuff and why they don't help out in Wakanda, but I think it's because of this interaction here.
Well, I think they know the military would just get destroyed.
Well, like when they're fighting the, those creepy little alien things, like the military would do all right because like War Machine does okay against them, right? And that's basically military grade armaments, maybe a little bit more than that, but still mostly explosives.
Well, is War Machine still effed or like?
He's fine now because he's got those like leg braces. It's a nice through line with Thunderbolt Ross here. So did the Cap rip that star off?
I think so. Which is a little dramatic, but...
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not going to wear my uniform anymore. I will say this, though. They have made it a point to put those little earbuds in and make them really visible, like, at all times now. Because I think in the first Avengers, people were like, they're talking to each other, but how? Yeah, it's a court-martial, and that is a bunch of military vehicles coming to your place, unless Thunderbolt Ross is like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What's up with Banner / Hulk in this movie just waiting for like the last second to just pop out from somewhere and be like, hey, I'm here.
I think that he's biding his time with Natalie.
I guess.
They have on that relationship never worked for me either.
No, that whole like she's talking about being a monster and people were saying like, oh, is it because she can't have babies or because she's like an assassin or whatever? It's just too confusing. Like, it's just weird.
I didn't care enough.
You think what?
You know what I mean? I didn't care enough.
Yeah. That's a great joke. The whole there's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man. Like, so good. It does bum me out that Ant-Man wasn't big in this movie. But at the same time, I think for a lot of us, we know that like the next one's going to have a lot of him and a lot of Cap in there.
Yeah. Well, and who is Hawkeye fighting in the second one?
Yeah, I don't know what that...
I just watched that trailer again, and I'm like, what is he putting his sword away from? Like, who is he fighting?
He's fighting the Yakuza. I think that's what Ronin does. I don't know. We'll see. And it could be like an alternate future that they go to find him or something too, I don't know.
Oh, you don't think he's just around?
I don't know what the time hopping is going to do. I still think they're going to open that next movie with his family just as a bunch of
dying,
ash
and
piles.
then him being like, I'm back in it. Yeah.
Which again, Hawkeye's fine, but like,
can you imagine the start of that film? Just like at breakfast and like, Daddy, where's my cherry?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. People like really love Hawkeye, and I get to some degree. I'm just not a huge Jeremy Renner fan, and I think Hawkeye's cool, but not like amazing.
People only were super into him because he was absent. If he was in it, nobody would bat an eye.
Sure. I also like that Banner is wearing like a ripped shirt, but like, whose shirt like is he wearing? Is he wearing like his like a coat of his that got ripped up by the Hulk? But like, when did he transform?
Wait, and not to jump ahead too far, but I just thought too, it was like, why is that fight in Wakanda? Like, why does it have to be there?
That's because that's where they took Vision, right?
Oh, so like they were okay.
Yeah.
Because when I rewatched that the other day, I was like, why here?
Yeah.
Is it just so they could put the Black Panther people in?
That too. And it's very, just like hearing this, and I think in the theater, people were freaking out about this way more than Guardians. People were like, yes! I know I was excited.
Black Panther took hold of people, yeah.
And I just knew that, like, Bucky being here was going to be cool, but they don't really do anything with Bucky, which saddens me.
Well, he just gets to fight a little bit.
Like, it's a new arm, but, like, he doesn't do much with it.
Well, and he's not going to be prevalent in the second one either. Spoiler, because he died, but...
Okoye is so good. Like, their cast is so good. Like,
yeah, almost shown.
Just, yeah, I think if you just look at it and just, like, say, like, you know what, it doesn't matter, like what race you are, if you're just a good actor, and the cast for Black Panther was so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a cool arm that you're barely going to use. I love his hair, too, Black Panther's.
Yeah.
He looks so good.
Oh, I think my Bucky's. And it's like,
Bucky's great, too. Sebastian Stan, man.
He's awesome.
The crazy thing about this movie is it kind of reminds me again like Lord of the Rings, where you have these parallel storylines, but then they jump back and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like Doctor Strange, what's he up to? And you're like, oh yeah, he's getting messed up.
Samwise Gamgee.
I love that they got like 1 or 2 hits off on him, on his face.
Yep.
He does look like Squidward a little bit.
Doesn't he?
Now, I remember part of a trailer or a thumbnail where people were showing Strange get, like, stabbed by a ton of these things and him screaming.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that's in this or not.
It's. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, yeah.
Well, I know
away.
the yell is there, but it's more prevalent in the trailer. Because he still yells, like, I think.
Another thing I just can't imagine dealing with, not only juggling with these characters, but then also saying, like, all right, which ones are we going to put where, and then what relationships, basically, do we want to, like, play on the most? So you obviously want to put these two together because they're kind of, in a lot of senses, like, an emotional core of the MCU.
Uh-huh.
And just, like, having them come together and have this rapport right away. It's so good.
I love that line.
Yeah, it's
I
such
really
a good
do
line.
love that
I love
line.
it too. He makes such a good point. He's like, yeah, there's no neighborhood to save. Yeah. Gotta do it.
He's like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, here, yeah, right there.
But I swear there's like one where they show one where it's like 10 of them are in his face. That's a good shot of Iron Man there. Also, the lines they gave Iron Man in this one are like the most Iron Man-y, like cartoony lines, and I love them.
Yeah.
I also love that they kill him with that move right there. There's no extended fight. It's just
nope.
Like, done.
It's gone. Bye-bye.
What do you think about the Iron Spider?
It's cool. I like it. It adds something to his suit.
Also,
makes it more futuristic.
Yeah. Is that like nano ice that he's spraying on this stuff? Because he uses it later on himself too, and it's like, what?
Yeah. It's like burn heal.
Yeah, it's like burn heal. Pete was willing to give up his life to save him there. He didn't know those arms were coming out. All right, here comes Strange's hair that starts to flop in the non-wind.
Okay, let's see.
That's when he gets right up in Tony's face. I love the Ward joke. It's very Robin.
Yeah.
You notice how the eyes of both Iron Man and Spider-Man, like on their suits, it's not like on Iron Man's on his neck, and on Spider-Man it's like on his arms, like the little blue dots.
Yeah.
It's cool. Weird, but cool. His hair is twitching. You see it?
Oh yeah.
It's just a little.
I guess I never noticed that before.
Is there like a wind current in here?
There must have been when they were filming.
Yeah. Also, it's barely noticeable, but if you
Yeah.
look on the ground before they walk up like this, there is a bit of a height advantage that Tony gets on like what he's standing on there to be the same height as Cumberbatch, which is funny. And that line right there just goes to show that, like, later on when he does what he has to do, you know, you're like, oh, it's clearly for the right reasons.
Yep.
Right? Spidey's like, I'm finally an Avenger, and I'm in space. Okay. Which I'm kind of interested to know how many missions, like, in the MCU the Avengers actually went on before all this, because they're pretty well known throughout the world, which they obviously would have been after just New York, but after that in Sokovia, like, I wonder how many missions in between there that they were still running.
Yeah.
You know, where people just knew them.
I bet a bit.
Like, thanks, Thanos, for the big cup of soup. She's like, nope.
Chucks it.
There's a deleted scene, I believe, where they show in the past, like, a younger Gamora, like a different hairstyle, who, like, is excited and shows up to this throne and is all like, hey, you know, I figured this thing out, or I did this thing for you, conquered this world for you, and I'm glad they took it out.
Yeah.
Thanos has to be like 8 feet tall? 7.5? He's a big boy.
Yeah. He's tall, like, and I always wonder that about Josh Brolin, like how they did that.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen some stuff. I don't remember exactly how they did it.
Because like with Hagrid, like I remember them explaining how they did that with Hagrid, and it was just like, you know.
Yeah. Definitely more prosthetic or more like practical with him. Just be like, oh, we put you on stilts or whatever. I get Thanos, like I get what he's trying to do, but at the same time, this is something he'd have to do like every couple of decades, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he's crazy? I mean, like, you know he's pretty crazy, but like movie crazy.
I mean, I think that he thinks that he's doing it for the right reasons, but on paper, his plan seems diabolical. But like when he explains like his reasoning, and like it makes sense, but it's like, dude, that's not how you go about it.
Yeah,
well, you can't just erase half of life, you know.
I'm wondering too, like, if they're going to try to show this off in the next movie, or if they're still going to try to do some sort of prequel thing. But, you know, he kind of talks about his past and saying to the other members of his species, like, hey, guys, like, there's a problem coming and I know how to figure it out, but you guys aren't going to like it. And then they all died. I would love to see that, because it would just be like, oh, this is the reasoning why he does it.
When he's coming at it from such a like logical point of view, like he's leaving all emotion out of it. It's like, this is what I have to do in order to right the universe.
Yeah.
You know, he thinks what he's doing is right.
Well, you
know,
he thinks he's the savior.
Yeah. He's very calculated. Like, he's had everything planned. He probably knew Loki was going to lose. Like, this has all just been a chess game to him, you know?
Maybe. I think he wanted Loki to win, though.
I'm sure, but I mean, I think that he was testing the Avengers.
This thing that we get with Nebula
so
is cool.
Crazy.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like you'd see this in like a museum of art or something, you know?
Well, and it freaks me out that her brain is like detached and like her ears detached.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's how many times she lost to Gamora, right?
Well, and what, he like took her brain out and redid it, and
Hey.
she's not even human at all.
Yeah,
is there any human parts to her?
She's got like a little bit of. She's basically a cyborg. You know, she doesn't have a lot of biology left.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she didn't find the Soul Stone, but she knows where it is, right? Dang it, Gamora. You gotta know that they're always watching. They're always recording.
So what happens to those Apple fans that sign their life away with that contract? Thanos is Apple and everybody.
He's coming to collect.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy to remember that this is like a Disney film?
Yes.
Like, I would just love to have Walt Disney watch this and then afterwards say, like, yeah, your company owns this. Like...
Dude, I've been seeing some weird stuff on Disney lately.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, I think we talked about this the other day, but Shane Dawson went into, like, a whole conspiracy thing about Disney.
Oh, the Frozen thing.
There's a ton of Disney, like, Mickey killing himself, like, and talking about...
What?
Shooting... Yeah, there's a whole, like, old Disney cartoon of, like, Mickey killing himself because Minnie doesn't want him anymore. And it goes through a whole episode of, like, trying to find ways to kill himself and off himself because Minnie doesn't want him.
I'm sure.
It's ridiculous.
I would like to watch it, but I'm sure that was... Yeah.
It was like 20s, like 19, you know what I mean? Like really, really old.
Yeah. Like if I can't have her love, I don't want to exist.
Yeah. So he like put a shotgun between chairs and just shit like that. I'll have to send it to you. Like it's definitely not the Disney of today.
Sure. So Groot is his species, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
And he took it as an elective. I don't know. That part's kind of annoying to me. I'm like, what? Why would you take that as an elective for like a hyper-specific alien? Yeah.
Well, he's the god of thunder. You know, he's a prince. So, like
I guess
he has to know all this stuff.
Well, he didn't have to. Apparently, he took it as an elective. Like he elected to take it. Like he sought out the Groot class, and he's like, I'm taking that class.
Like, is there like a different inflection of like I am Groot?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I don't know.
Which means I need to go potty, or
yeah. I love this moment because you get to see something that you don't get a lot of in these other movies, is that you get this interaction between like two characters that just really have never crossed paths before, but also have like kind of an emotional like feeling about it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I love that Rocket is skeptical, but then also Thor, you can tell, is also not feeling great.
Yeah. What if he had just gone for the head?
Yeah. Always go for the head, ladies and gentlemen. That's the moral of the story. I do like seeing a Thor that has nothing left to lose. Because we've had a few times where he's like kind of felt bad, he's lost his powers and stuff, but now he's just like, he's lost the thing that's most important, which is his home and his family and, you know, a lot of his friends. And he's just like, why not try to go crazy? You know, just why not just go for it? And in a rare moments of being sweet, Rocket giving him this eye.
Huh.
How did Rocket get into that chair so fast? He's so sneaky. I do like the whole Sweet Rabbit bit.
Yeah. Yuck.
It does seem kind of weird that he never knew what a raccoon was, but hey, whatever.
Well, it's an Earth animal.
I guess. Oh, here comes the worst part of the movie.
Yep.
I forgot about this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me preface this by saying that I'm sure that Peter Dinklage is very good. I wouldn't necessarily use him as the voice of maybe, say, a small robot in a first-person shooter, but I'm sure that he's good and beloved.
I mean, he truly is really one of the best characters in Game of Thrones. And I'm like, why did they could have just copied that character's accent and stuff and put it here, because it would have just applied just fine.
I think my problem is that I know, like, the physicality of, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like, I know that he's I don't know if it's technically a dwarf or a midget or whatever, but he's much shorter, and his features kind of are part of that. So when they take that character, or they take that person, and then they just plus him up super tall, it doesn't work the same way as if you take John Rhys-Davies and put a ton of makeup on him and make him Gimli, even though he's like over 6 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
I just don't buy it. It just seems weird to me. But I get that they're supposed to be like giant dwarfs, so.
Which is an oxymoron.
I just remember people in the theater like kind of giggling when we got to this point, and maybe that's my problem with it, is that a lot of people.
Yeah, because they were like,
whispers.
And I was like, "What the f?" I was like, his accent is terrible.
People are like, is that the Game of Thrones guy?
It's so grating to me. It's like hearing Mickey in the new Kingdom Hearts film or Kingdom Hearts game. It's like,
mostly a film, yeah.
Let's be real. It's all cutscenes.
A lot of his cutscenes.
Yeah.
So, like, Thor...
So, is his hands always like that?
Yeah, so, okay, when Thor gets here, he finds that, Atreus got his hands all messed up. And Thanos is like, you're not going to make anybody's, like, gauntlets except for me. Why not just kill him?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What did you guys think was going to happen? So did he plunge his hands into, like, liquid star metal?
Yeah, what did his hands used to look like,
I'd imagine
That's
regular hands.
One would think.
How's that Final Fantasy IX treating you over there?
What are you talking about?
I hear the clicks. Levi's multitasking, ladies and gentlemen. How's FF9 treating you? Is it good?
No, I'm actually shiny hunting on Pokemon.
Oh, have you found any shinies?
No. Yes, I found a shiny Caterpie.
Did you capture it? Capture it?
Yes. Multitasking, ladies and gents.
How did she break out of this? I guess it's just suspending her, so it's not, like, restricting her.
Yeah.
I really like Nebula, by the way. I think that's one of my favorite things about Guardians, too. I think she's really cool.
I mean, she grated on me on the first one.
Yeah, she's really flat in that movie. I forgot that, like, the Space Stone is coming in kind of hot. Or it's, like, kind of, like, wobbling side to side. I also like that out of anyone, Tony Stark would learn how to, like, drive this thing immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Well, how did they know to get to this planet?
They don't. I think it was on like autopilot, if you remember, and then they just it doesn't land itself. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, because the Maw was supposed to come here.
Yeah. I love it that we're seeing like magic and science though. Like Doctor Strange puts up a shield around him just in case. He's like, yeah, might need this. Oh, Titan. I like Titan a lot. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That big typeface, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see it like as, old Titan. What'd you do for a minute?
Yeah, but it'd be cool to see, real.
And that's where Thanos' people are from?
Yes. I can't remember though. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, here comes Star-Lord.
Yeah, I like Star-Lord's mask.
I forgot about the knives that he throws out.
Yeah, he's going crazy. I know that he's kind of tricky, but I don't like that Star-Lord can be anywhere near as close to like power level stuff as Iron Man would be. Like,
yeah, I don't think he is. Yeah. I think he just it's a lot of. Please don't put your eggs in me.
Yeah. How'd you remember that? It's a good line.
Yeah. Quill is really good with his, tools.
Yeah. I do like this moment, though. It's so good. Why is Gamora? I love the classic Iron Man bluff right there. To just be like, I'm gonna kill this dude if you kill my dude.
No, he can't take it. I love that. Yeah. Drax is just to the very bitter end. Drax is just like,
yeah, he's a macho man.
Oh, did you see like Doctor Strange's hand is trembling there? Just like because that's like how his hands are from his surgery.
Oh, sure.
Did you see that little detail there? I just noticed that. Well, and he's holding up his wait for it, yeah.
I love that moment though, where Peter's like, "What am I supposed to say, Jesus?" Like the whole like, "What master do you serve?" Like, so many good little jokes.
Oh dang it! You're not gonna be able to see it, but
see what?
His hand quiver.
Oh, we'll see it again later, hopefully. So here's my issue with Atri. I feel like you could have just had Thor have some of this information, and then Rocket could have figured out the mechanism for it, and you wouldn't need Atri at all. And the reason I say that you don't need him is in a movie where they already introduce a few new characters, and they also have a cast of like 30 plus, it seems like, of characters you should know from the past. It just would be one less character to be interested in at all, which would be nice.
She's just dancing around.
Yeah. One thing I like too about this is you don't often really get to see the heroes set up an ambush, because usually, villains come out of nowhere and do something crazy and they're not prepared for it and they have to react to it. But it's like we get to watch the heroes be proactive in a moment like this, and I love it.
Yeah. You think they're going to make an Iron Man 4?
I don't know. They've been hinting at it for a long time. The problem is if we make 4 in our day and age, people are like, all right, when's 5 and 6?
Yeah. Or when's, Thor 4? And
yeah.
I wonder if they're like, no, we're going to limit to three story arcs for each movie.
Do you think if they did an Iron Man 4, they have to do Mandarin, like true Mandarin?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like they almost would have to. I don't know.
Yeah. It never was.
I love that line. There's a lot of like Kevin Bacon jokes in this movie. I do like the fact that Tony has to like register the fact that he has like Peter and Strange on his team who are like the A team more or less, and then you have these other guys who are basically like the B or C team for the Guardians, and he's just kind of like, I have to deal with all these idiots. Just like,
yeah. one.
That's so crazy. Like, and I get it that he, he could do that. He could see like so many of those, but to keep track of those, and then be like, all right, it's this many, and then to say like, nope, we only won the one. I don't know.
Well, on top of that, like, how are you gonna make that happen? Are we gonna do? Are you gonna travel back just to where that instance?
Sure, and also you have to think that like he's seen so many that there was probably a few futures where he saw this, and he told everybody exactly how this would go, and that was not a one where they actually defeated Thanos. So it was like this one was the one true one where, they all had to suffer and fail to win in the long game, right?
Yeah.
Or the end game, as they say.
Quote unquote.
Interesting point of contention here. Some people didn't like this because it doesn't make all the sense.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, I agree. I think it's fine too.
I like Red Skull, but I mean, it's confusing why he's there, but I like him.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, so like, did the Tesseract port him here, and then the Soul Stone is like, you're gonna be my keeper, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't Hugo Weaving, right? We talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a very good impression.
Yeah. And I think with the voice warble and the fact that he's all spiritually kind of ethereal, they get away with it, right?
Yeah. I know Hugo Weaving was like, I will never return as the Red Skull, and it's like, well.
Yeah, that hurts. And maybe it's really hard for some of these, like, really classically trained actors to put on all this makeup and do all these kind of corny things, but I loved Red Skull. Or I liked him, I should say. But I love the callback, and people are like, that's just fan service. I'm like, these movies should be kind of like fan service for like the people who've been watching for like a decade, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like, does he still have legs?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
And like, yeah, it's just such a weird, like, why is he here? Why did they put him here?
Yeah. Again, you have Red Skull, but you also have Atri, who are just like people hanging out at a place waiting to like, they're like NPCs. They're like waiting to give you like the story. I do like, though, that he got to be this because he was so obsessed with the Tesseract, and to think that he's just become like the foremost expert on the stones now, even though he can't really do anything with them. This is where I'd be like, I love you, Red Skull. Chuck him over. Doesn't work that way. When she started laughing here, it kind of made me angry because, like, we all know that she's being stupid, right? Because, like, in this moment, I knew that he was going to chuck her off that, right? Like, I don't know what you thought.
Well, I wasn't... I don't know if I thought that at first. I was just like, oh... I mean, it obviously dawned on me, like, right away, but I didn't quite... I think what was so pulling me into this scene and like making me not think of that part is just how great her acting is here. So
yeah, I just feel like she's just so naive in this moment because like, did she really think that he didn't love her? Because I get where she could come from on that, but like the way he treats her clearly is, and it's different because we haven't seen Thanos be this emotional in any other film. We haven't had enough time with him yet, but it just seemed a little weird to me because it's like, clearly, we all know how this is going.
Yeah. That for you.
Yeah. It's like, what? Just push him off right now. I'm sure the stones can't save him. I'm just kidding. They probably would. Just run, Gamora. When did he ignore his destiny once? I can't remember.
I wonder if that made...
Back on Titan, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
See? If only she would have known this.
When she tried to kill herself?
Yeah.
Or... Why? What's with him and Bubbles?
I don't know. He loves his bubbles.
There's got to be a joke about that somewhere.
Yeah. Man, like, I think another thing that's interesting about him is that he does have to sacrifice, which a lot of villains don't typically have to do like this.
Yeah.
And you do kind of feel bad for him, but, like, he's so resolute in, doing this.
Well, do you think she'll be gone?
No, she'll be back. Her soul's in the Soul Stone. They'll bring her back somehow, I'm sure.
Okay. Because that always bothered me. I was like, what? Like, you can't get rid of her and then have a Guardians 3.
Her green blood everywhere, yeah.
Well, I know, that was hyper-realistic. It's like, what?
I've heard that, I think they were going to change up a lot of the Guardians, so there's a good chance that no one might be safe completely. Except Vin Diesel. I think he's probably just happy being Groot.
I always forget that Vin Diesel's Groot.
Yeah. I can't believe they haven't re-recorded anything. Like, at this point. Movie over. Voldemort got the Elder Wand.
That is where I thought the movie ended. And I was like, what?
Like, that didn't seem like a lot.
Yeah. I literally thought that was the end of the movie, and I was like, I mean, that would have been a good place to leave it,
Well,
if they were going to split this into 2 films.
Sure. Yeah, because it's out of, like, the halfway mark, a little bit over. He's like, I've got it. I still don't know exactly what it does, and I'm sure in the comics and stuff, and from what I've heard in the past, I know it's powerful, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, but that time stone, man, like, it's just so good. So many practical applications. I like how at the end of Civil War, I guess Cap was the only one brought back to Wakanda. Like, none of the other people wanted them to Wakanda. He's like, I know how to get there. Man, I was so sure they were going to bust Bucky out at the end of Black Panther. Ugh. Man, the style and everything for the Wakandan army and stuff, and even Black Panther himself, look just so good. The budget on the costumes alone for this movie must have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
War Machine, what a jerk. I want to, like, listen in on that call where that, like, Cap called T'Challa and said, hey, man, not a big thing, but we need to remove this stone from our android, and there's an alien army that's going to come here and try to kill everyone in your secret isolation nation.
What about T'Challa was like, actually, we're already ahead of you. We already knew this was coming.
Exactly. We planned for it. It's fun, too, that Shuri is, like, the smartest person in the MCU. Yeah. And she's, like, a young, like, black girl, just, from a country that no one's ever heard of, I really love that. And she just kind of puts Banner in his place right there, like, being like, hey, idiot, why didn't you do this?
Yep.
I'd say start working on it immediately.
Well, and she doesn't finish. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah. That's because they start sending these things
Maybe that's a key, is like, maybe they will use the time stone to go back to that. Well, they can't use the time stone. They're going to have to figure out a different way to travel time, right?
Yeah, because they can use quantum energy from Ant-Man.
That's right. That's how he... Yeah. Him and Captain Marvel. Maybe they go back and they make... they let her finish.
Maybe. That could work. Maybe. Or they're going to go back through time and try to stop it at multiple points.
Yeah.
I do like that there's a dome over Wakanda. That just shows how prepared they are.
Well, and it's like, if they do introduce, like, X-Men and stuff into this, it's like, where the heck were you guys when we needed you, you know?
Yeah, people have theorized that maybe, like, whatever happens after they, fix stuff in Endgame or whatever else, like, they'll inadvertently create mutants. I don't know.
Like the Dawn of Mutants?
Maybe. Or, you know what they could do is they could just not worry about that at all and just hit it up in the actual X-Men movie, right?
Yeah. I hope the X-Men reboot is called Dawn of Mutants or something. And then they're like, oh my god, Levi came up with it.
Everybody listens, timestamp it now. If it's called Dawn of the Mutants, X-Men Dawn of the Mutants.
Yeah.
That was there. I think they'll probably just call it X-Men, right?
Yeah. Well, and maybe it's an alternate universe. You never know.
You could do that, yeah, I guess.
There's so much that they could do with these films that wouldn't surprise me anymore.
Yeah. I love that Rocket didn't know how strong he was. And there's that little callback there to Guardians 2, which is like the wackiest part of that movie where like their faces are getting all crazy and explodey or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've told people this, and I think I tweeted out about it, but like this like subplot reminds me so much of the Entmoot from Two Towers.
Really?
Where it seems, to me, it's pretty boring, but the payoff is huge. Because like the Entmoot,
I see what you're saying.
They're like, they're talking, and then they finally show up at Isengard, and it's amazing. Here it's like, they're talking, build the hammer, but when he shows up on the battlefield, you're like, oh my gosh, it feels like 30 people warped in. You're like, holy crap, Thor is here. Like, it's so good. Man, if they were that close to a freaking, like, it's a dying star, I guess, but still, like, it would be, like, blinding. Like, and this isn't enough sun energy to warm it up. I mean, come on now.
Well, and I mean, how do they not get destroyed from the warmth here, from it,
Yeah.
I really wish that I could go back. You know what? I wish I could go back and just redub all of his voice acting in this. It's suicide. This sounds terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Also, like, I think in this moment, too, I think you get to a point where, like, they probably just keep their casting every even small role to, like, a big-name actor to kind of take it seriously. But how cool would it have been to give, like, some no-name a shot at this?
Yeah.
Like... I love War Machine. Oh, he's got a little Air Force symbol on. Oh, that's so good. I just think War Machine makes... Like, if War Machine's Coke, then Falcon is Diet Coke, right? Like...
Well, and what was I just reading? Falcon's done.
What? No, he's doing that TV show with Bucky.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard somewhere that Falcon said... Or maybe, yeah, he said he's, like, done. But maybe that was just, like, a clickbait.
I don't know.
Article.
I do love that.
They probably all said that they're dead, but like...
Or they're dead or done. Do you mean? Did he say he was dead?
I'd have to find it. Let me see.
I love that M'Baku is down here too. He's like, we were
What's the name of that answer? Anthony Mackie?
Yeah. Good trickery there by Proxima.
Oh, I must have read the wrong one because it says that they're actually eyeing him for Captain Marvel or Captain America 4. Yeah, never mind.
Oh, Anthony Mackie is the new
Cap?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh. They're eyeing him for it. That's
Could
what
be.
I just read.
See, a Falcon gets way cooler if he can fly and he's got Cap's powers, because then it's like, okay, now you're talking,
Well, they could easily take his... Well, he doesn't have the strength of Captain America.
No, not now, but like if you were to get this, I know it's just the mantle, I think, but I don't know if Does does Falcon, when he turns into Captain America, get the serum? Maybe not.
Maybe.
Captain Falcon is what he.
Because that's happened in the comics, right? Falcon's taken over.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Or was that Bucky that took over as Captain
Bucky?
America?
There's been Bucky and there's been Falcon. There's been a few different ones. The strategy seems to be working right now.
Yeah. When they're all just burnt and they don't care.
Yeah.
When I wonder why they do this and then they go back.
They say that like the shields are giving up or something, or something's going on. Oh, I didn't realize the Hulkbusters shoot little repulsors. That's cute. Like, look at Falcon. It's adorable. Like, look at him. He's got his little red wings. And then you see this, and it's just like, there's no comparison. I'm sorry. Like,
just nukes.
Yeah, just look at that destruction.
Well, and do you think Iron Man keeps updates on these suits for them?
Maybe.
Tony? Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and Tony has no idea that this battle's even going on.
Yeah, that's true.
I think about weird stuff like that.
Sure. Like, could you open the barrier and then shut it, and then open it, and then shut it? You know, like, that's what I would do. I would make it like it's so...
Yeah.
Like, has anyone played a freaking tower defense game? You know, like, I don't know. Like... Also, you don't have to lose that defensive positioning. Like, you don't have to run in. You could stay back here and wait for them. Like, I don't know. It's just... I love Black Panther, but I do not take the whole claws coming out seriously. Like, I know they try to make it kind of Wolverine-esque, but it's just never
It totally reminds me of Meg.
Yeah, exactly.
Family Guy when she gets her
nail
claws.
powers. Yeah.
She's like, this is it?
Now shut it. And then open it. And then shut it. You know, like, make a little guillotine out of it. I do love that these two take off because they're so much faster. Like, it's,
it is badass.
But, like, they didn't get Cap shields. They got them, like, these little arm guards. Like... It is a little shaky camera-y. A little much.
Yeah. Black Panther 2 is going to be nuts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what they're going to do for that. I wonder if it's going to be a lot of, like... You know, the whole world trying to get into Wakanda. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just bring Claw back.
Yeah, Claw died so suddenly in that movie.
Yeah. Not that he's unkillable, but, like, after this, it's hard for me to think that Thor can actually be, like, really hurt by anything or anyone. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, what makes him so powerful? Like, is his skin just...
Well, he's a god.
Indestructible?
Yeah, he's a god. He's the god of thunder. His durability...
Because his mom just gets, like, stabbed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like...
I don't know, because he's the son of Odin. Like, he's the true son of Odin. Like, Loki wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's just... His durability is, like, one of the highest in all of the Marvel... You know, stuff in all of Marvel Comics. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, ugh. I like the whole sequence, it's fine, but it's just like...
Here's, Desolation of Smog all over again.
Yeah, exactly, dude, I get that feeling.
At least the graphics on the lava are a lot better.
Yeah, I guess.
The CGI for the gold was the worst.
That was kind of weird. I liked the idea of it. Like, those movies could have been so much better, but they could have been so much worse, though, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, he does this, and then he starts freaking out. Like, it's like, does the axe, like...
He needs the medicine.
Yeah, like, because usually these weapons bring out the power that is, like, within him.
Well, I mean, you can see right there, Thor's real crispy. You know?
Oh, for sure. But still, like, he's, like, not dead yet. Like, any other Avenger would be so just literal toast.
Well, and, like, is the handle now, like, indestructible because it's from Groot?
No, I don't know. Also, it's a different look of Stormbreaker than what I know, but it's fine. I'm not a huge fan of the Groot handle. I don't know what you think about it.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think it's really cool that, like, it's made from Groot, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I'm just not really sold on it. I'd rather have a more elegant handle, but I get that it was kind of made, special. Like, look at how he's holding this choke point. Yep. Oh my god. I love you, War Machine. I actually have a print of War Machine in my room.
That was totally like Farah using her ultimate and then just like Hanzo sniping her.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, look at this. Justice reigns from above.
From above.
Bam. Yeah, this moment right here. I remember listening to like a little audio thing that someone had claimed that they recorded this moment in the theaters and people were cheering and going crazy for this, but oh god, the music swells and it's just like, this is a movie, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Hell yeah. That head looks so scary though. The floating head of freaking Banner. I don't like it. I like that he ports into Wakanda. I don't know how he knows that that's where he needs to go, but he's just like, I'm going here and I'm start killing people. Like, I don't know how Thor figured that out. Do we know how Thor figured that out?
I don't know. I think that he maybe just knew that they were going to be there.
Yeah.
Maybe they texted him,
Thor.
Maybe Natalie Portman told him.
Yeah. Aren't you happy that she's not in this?
No, I like Natalie Portman. Was that convincing?
Yeah.
I'd much rather have Gwyneth Paltrow than Natalie Portman, but
I like that Thanos says that this day extracts a heavy toll, because you can kind of tell that even like he lost Gamora and that was really sad, but at the same time, like, he does kind of care about his, his lieutenants and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably put a lot of work into the Black Order, too, to make them, like, completely subservient. Here you go, Levi. Here's your clean Titan, right?
Looks very Destiny-like.
Dude, it looks so Destiny-like. I just want Thanos in the boardroom meeting or like the town hall meeting where he's like, "Excuse me, I have a suggestion." It's like, what if we just killed half of everybody? He like has a bunch of notebooks and stuff. He's like putting them up. He's like on a whiteboard and drawing. He's like, clearly. I like that Strange is looking more and more disheveled. Like, his hair isn't perfect anymore. He's got, like, the cut and stuff. Like, he's not all done up, and he definitely could be, with all of his magic.
Yeah. So is he saying that, like, if he wanted to, he could kill everybody, but he decided to only do half?
No, he's saying that half is all that's necessary. That's kind of like his motto.
But didn't he say that, like, if I wanted to, I could snap my fingers and everything would cease to exist?
No, he said, like, half.
Mercy... do half.
He was just saying it would be half, and that guy and Strange is saying is like, that's genocide, and he's like, I'm calling it mercy because they're just ceasing to exist. They're not like in pain. They're just gone.
Well, and how do you know that? How do you know that that's what it would do?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what he thinks. I like how we start to see the stones do things we've never seen before, where he takes, like, he's comboing them, where it's like he does the reality stone and something else to like make the bats chase Iron Man. Oh, that sword is so cool, too, which he does summon. It's so sweet. Yeah, Levi, I think picking Strange is one of your favorite. This is not a bad thing.
Yeah. I stand by that. flicks him off, jumps through.
I remember seeing that as a GIF, and then not thinking it was as funny in the movie because I was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna do that thing." Too bad they all didn't just attack him at the same moment here, you know?
Yeah.
I like that they show that the Iron Man suit still has a lot of firepower. You're like, oh, he's not just just lasers and stuff. He could still blow things up.
Yeah. Just clocks him.
Yeah, I love that also you get Nebula out of nowhere.
Coming out of nowhere.
It's just like...
And doesn't do anything, unfortunately.
Yeah. She does a little bit, but...
Why does he hate her so much?
He hates her because she's not Gamora, and she's way weaker.
Well, I want to know what she looks like when she was Gamora's sister. I wish they would have shown that in the flashback.
I'm not sure.
And this is a cool spell with the ribbon.
I think they might be the chains of Sidorak or whatever. They're related somehow to also Juggernaut's powers come from that. I could be Sidorak or Sidorak or something. I love him.
Well, and Doctor Strange shouldn't have let up there. He should have kept his ribbons on there while...
I guess he's just trying to... Oh, he was going to bring Mantis in.
Well, what a good ploy. I mean...
Now, I know that people say, is it come down to Thor? I still think the big problem we have here is obviously Peter.
Well, and Thanos isn't a god, right?
No.
So it's he's just a guy. But he's really strong.
Yeah.
Ugh, this part bugs me.
Yeah. And they're all heroes. We have to keep that in mind, too. Nobody thought, let's grab, a freaking, stake driver and just put it right in his cranium, right now, just, point blank, just boom,
She should have just kept this to herself.
Well, Mantis she can't keep her mouth shut. Right? I kind of wish right here Iron Man would have just repulsored Quill. Just been like, nope, don't do it.
You can see how old Robert Downey Jr. is with his hair.
Yeah. I've never really enjoyed Star-Lord, and this just kind of cements it for me.
So you didn't like him?
Yeah, I was just usually I like to see my heroes kind of change over time, and he has a little bit, but he's still such a child.
Yeah.
And it's just really frustrating, because it's hard to cheer for him when he's so stupid.
He almost had it off.
Yeah. That's why it's so heartbreaking. And, it's a better movie this way, right? That we have this, but...
I love the Iron Spider just catching him.
Oh, yeah.
I think it really does go with his suit really well.
Also, I kind of think, and maybe it's because, Star-Lord it's more an emotional story for him, but, Drax would have been the one to do this, right? To go crazy and be like, I'm gonna kill him.
Just destroys an entire moon.
Yeah. Again, I wish I remember hearing IGN is God, what did they call it? It was a headline. They're like, Thanos destroyed a moon at San Diego Comic-Con and it was incredible. And I was like, why would you say this? It's shut up. Yeah, that part is so
well,
cool.
And it's like summoning Meteor from
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. He's like a Final Fantasy character now. Have we figured out
or
the name
an
of this
Ultimate
guy?
Dragoon move?
Levi, what is this guy's name?
I don't know. Oh, is it Punchy Boy or something?
Punchy Boy.
Let's see.
Ooh.
That's what we're gonna call him from now on.
I do like.
What do they call the Black Order?
Yeah.
Oh, Black Dwarf.
Black Dwarf?
Yep.
Really?
Or is it Supergiant?
I'll believe you.
It's not Supergiant. Supergiant's not in it. So it says the Black Order members are Thanos, Black Dwarf, Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight, and Supergiant. But they didn't put in Supergiant. Black Dwarf is... Let's see if that's him. Yep, it's Black Dwarf.
Okay. I'm Steve Rogers. Yeah, it's a good moment.
Oh, I missed it because I was looking that up. But yeah, I like that scene.
Yeah, it's a good moment.
It made me laugh in the theater. It's almost It's like almost nerve-wracking to laugh in the theater because you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much else happening.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, what is this? A machine?
Yeah. General Grievous just showed up with all of his little spinny wheels.
Yeah.
Like, what's Sam gonna do with his little SMGs? Like, it really bothers me. Like,
he just doesn't have enough firepower.
I guess that's the same problem I have with Black Widow. It's just like her best moves, and this is gonna come up in that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 game. Like, her best move is like shooting guns a lot. It's like
she's getting really proficient at her powers
of guns. Oh, or Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that joke that Okoye basically makes. But then there's a reason for it. And you're like, oh, thank you. Because that's like the comment section that they're already getting past, right? They're like, no, man. People were so worried, I think, that Shuri was going to eat it here. You know?
Yeah. But you don't know what happened to her after this. This is the last time you see her.
She gets wiped out.
You think so?
Yeah, she's one of the 50. They show it. It's very brief, but it's in the Endgame teaser trailer. She's on the screen, or she's at least missing.
Like part of the missing.
Yeah.
Do you like her red jacket?
I think it's fine. Her hair seems way too crazy now, though. You know?
Yeah. Here's ScarJo.
I guess I just buy Okoye a little more. Maybe it's because of the vibranium and stuff, or just the fact that she's just trained her whole life. But I guess Black Widow has too, to some extent. Okoye seems so much more lethal to me. Just so much cooler. I don't know. I don't like how jokey Banner is, and he's just so, like, he's just yelling and stuff. Ugh.
I like Mark Ruffalo.
I think he's fine. I liked it when Banner used to be, like, kind of reserved, you know.
I thought you were going to say Edward Norton.
Yeah, no. I liked Eric Bana. I guess this just proves that the Hulkbuster suit is meant to take punches and not, like, cutting, you know, weapons or something.
Yeah. See, in the trailers, I always thought that the Hulk was still in there, but he had this armor and stuff so he could fight better.
Yeah, No. Well, there was some Funko Pop that came out that showed, like, or some toy that showed, like, the Hulk ripping out of the Hulkbuster suit. So either they took that idea and threw it away, or it's going to happen in the next movie, right? Like, Banner's in the Hulkbuster suit and then just, like, loses it and then comes out of it.
Yeah. But do you, though?
Yeah.
Because we're never going to get a standalone horror movie or Hulk movie, right?
No, Universal still retains the, like, rights to a standalone Hulk movie for now, I think. But that could change. Yeah, Cap. It's funny, like, because Cap's voice has always been a little bit higher, you know? And it's harder to take it seriously with, like, that beard, because I just picture him being like, get out of here, run, you know, like... But I still love him.
That's how you would say the comic version would say it, you know?
Maybe.
Would be a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do, too. I love a kill where it's just, like, you know, just be smart for, like, 3 seconds, right? And the ending of this movie is just so, like, crazy. Like,
well, it's so funny before how Black Widow was just all, she's the only female superhero, and then, like, all of a sudden they started introducing all these other females, like Captain Marvel, Okoye, you know, like, all these other, Scarlet Witch, like, all these other likable characters, you know?
And I'm kind of glad they burned, like, learning how to make a good, like, female superhero on Black Widow, because I think out of any of these, like, female protagonists, she is, from just a lore standpoint, probably one of the most dull, at least to me.
Yeah.
And she always has been in all the other Avengers stuff. Like, I'd watch, like, the cartoons and stuff. It just wasn't great. Yeah. Poor Peter, just trying to save people. This is maybe my favorite part of the whole film, though.
Yeah.
This fight scene alone is just... I remember my eyes almost popped out of my head with this. I was like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. The black hole attack, man. This has to be like years after the first Doctor Strange, right?
And just turns it into... I mean, he learns at a really quick pace. So.
And he's very self-centered, so he'd probably want to make a million of himself, right? Ugh. Was he comboing the Power Stone and the Soul Stone there?
Like, his spirit almost came out of his body there for a second.
Did he use the Soul Stone there? I don't even know.
I don't know. Oh, and that knocked him out.
I do like that we still get a little bit of Iron Man.
The cape couldn't have cushioned his head a little bit.
Yeah.
What does that mean, cursed with knowledge?
I think, well, him... well, obviously Tony's smart, but I also take it as, like, you know, Tony's been worried about this fight for a long time. And maybe this is one of the things Thanos was, like, he was doing maybe, like, a threat analysis on planet Earth, and Tony Stark's name probably kept popping up, especially after the Chitauri invasion, where he blew up the whole Chitauri army, right? He was probably like, this guy sucks, right? Hey, man, you make a god bleed, and you're ready to go. Even though Thanos isn't a god. Still.
What is that from? You make a god bleed?
Oh, like 300. I take it from.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that's probably where Tony's name came up, is that he's kind of thwarted some plans in the past. Right?
Yeah. Just, the lasers, and he's like, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Breaks it off.
So brutal. I thought right there he had killed him, but I'm glad that they didn't.
When I'm what?
When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive. I hope they remember you as one of the most quotable lines from this whole thing.
Yep.
I think Joe's even said to me in the past, I'm like, what? Did you just quote Avengers, dude?
Has he seen this movie?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it with him. And clearly, again, if you've been paying attention, when he said, like, if it comes down to the stone between you and Spider-Man and stuff, like, I'm going to let you guys die.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's, like, doing this clearly is the reason.
He's got a plan.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's called Endgame, and, like, he basically is the most powerful Marvel hero because he named one of the movies, you know.
Which bums me. I hope that, like, they fix, like, the time thing right away. Because I'll be sad if I can't see Doctor Strange and Black Panther doing a lot, you know?
I wouldn't worry about it because they're going to be the next Avengers. Oh, by the way, look at his hands. They have the marks. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, see, they're still twitching, too.
Yeah, they're twitching, but he's got, like, the little lines on there from, like, the surgeries and stuff.
Yep.
But no, don't worry about it. That's a conversation in a group I'm so excited to see, is, like, to see the next wave of Avengers, like, interacting. Because we haven't seen Strange and Black Panther, like, talk.
Or, you know, like, Black Widow talking to Strange or anything like that.
That's okay. I don't care what Black Widow has to say to anybody. I want Gamora. Way better. And there's this little nanite ice or whatever. I do like the fact that Tony looks at Strange and asks him, instead of
I had no idea that was the next title.
Well, I like that he doesn't look at freaking Star-Lord and said, like, you screwed it up.
Yeah. Because he probably saw that too.
And he probably couldn't tell him. He's probably like, I can't tell him. If I tell him this right now, it'll still screw everything else up. So he's like, I can't tell anybody what's going on. Because Strange kind of has that Batman quality a little bit.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm not going to tell you. It's for the good of everybody. So just trust me.
I don't think I like the name of the next Avengers. Do you like it? Endgame?
I do, because it feels like it's a poignant moment.
Feels like a raid boss. Like
yeah. And Thanos should be a raid boss, right?
Yeah.
What's a 3-hour movie where they just fight him the whole time and they take like little breaks and stuff? They're like, oh god. Alright. Well, what else would you call it, though? I guess after we see the movie, we could maybe have a better idea for it, but...
Yeah.
Like, you could just call it Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it's going to be, like, probably cosmic, you know? Yeah. I saw when he shows up, it's very Terminator-esque. It's like, oh god, that's got to be him, right? Like...
They're like, oh shit.
The weird thing is, like, is Josh Brolin even there? Are they looking at Josh Brolin in, you know, a mocap outfit? Or are they looking at nothing? And it's like, be scared at that thing over there. Like, you know, it's a good job.
And he just dispatches them so easy.
Yeah, well, that Space Stone, it's, like, good for teleporting. It's good for making things, like, stopping things. It's good for making things phase through.
Well, like, that wall should have, like... Does the wall, what does he fall from?
He, like, shockwaves him.
Does that wall, like, cut off half of Banner's body? You know what I mean? Like...
I think he's just in it. Or does it
just perfectly form around it?
I think he's just in it, yeah. I know, it's weird. Once again...
Think about weird things like that. That's
okay. That's why the commentary's here. Again, like Gamora before, and I know it's sad, and I'm not saying I would do it if it was someone I loved, but before we even got to this point, I would have just said, like, alright guys, what's the quickest and safest way to take care of this, you know, for everybody? And if, like, destroying the stone in Vision's head is the way to do it, I wouldn't have wasted my time with Yuri. I would have been like, or Shuri, I would have been. And so, like, Thanos right now, he's kind of... I think he actually fights Cap for another second or two, but, like, Thanos is watching this, right? He's just kind of like, do what you want to. It's not going to stop me. Oh, I guess they're shooting at him and stuff.
Yeah, they're still fighting. And he just... What does he do? Just collapse all of it into him, or...?
Yeah, he just re-paralyzed him. I like how Black Widow's is, like, a bunch of rocks. I'm like, what? Like... Ugh.
Poor Groot.
Tries. I would have given this movie a flat 10 out of 10 if after this all happened and he reversed time, Ultron came out and stole the stone and he just took off. Yeah, I would have been like, oh my god.
And the look of confusion on his face is like, how is this possible that he's even holding me?
Sure. I think he's just that strong, and I guess he's preventing the fist from being closed, which he didn't know he needed to do, right? But poor Cap.
You think that put him out?
Yeah, it knocked him out. Not killed him, right? But see, it's cool here. You can see he's using, like, the Space Stone, and maybe he's using the Reality Stone. I know she's using her stuff, but... to kind of make a shield.
Yeah, because what does she have, like, reality powers, or?
Yeah, that's kind of what I've taken it as. Like, it's all red, right? Not that red magic has to be reality magic, but it just seems a little bit like that. And Paul Bettany's like, yes, I don't have to be Vision anymore. And Thanos is basically Disney.
Did he not want to be Thanos anymore? Or did he not want to be...
Oh, no, I'm not saying
Vision anymore?
Yeah. I remember the interviews...
Vision's done, right? Like, he's not going to be probably...
No, he'll be back, I'm sure.
You think so?
I think so, if they go back in time. But I think even Paul Bettany himself said, he's like, I feel really privileged to be where I am, and even though it can be tough sometimes with all the makeup and all this stuff. But what a creep! Do you think he just looks at her kind of like Gamora? He's like, oh
yeah. This pisses me off that he just reverses everything.
Disney's like, come back from retirement, Paul Bettany.
Did he retire?
No, I'm just saying that. It's like, if he wanted to leave. He's like reading the script, and he's like, yes, I don't have vision anymore. And they're like, no, he's going to reverse time.
Yeah, because they didn't get to really read the script, right?
I think they were given dummy scripts, is what I was hearing.
Yeah. Like, and also, they probably didn't know all the facts.
It's a nice...
Just reaches in and takes it out.
Yeah, there's a nice parallel here between him and Loki, like getting picked up by the throat like this. He's like, this was the easiest stone to get.
Well, why does his body go gray?
Because, like, I guess it was powering his body. The Mind Stone? I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, where did that stone come from to begin with?
Loki's scepter, which Thanos gave him. Yeah. It was in a blue casing.
And they took it out, and then they put it in Ultron, right?
Ultron took it out of the scepter and was going to use it. Oh, other theories have come out saying that, like, why wasn't the Infinity Gauntlet strong enough to stop Stormbreaker? And that's because Thanos was waiting to use the gem juice, as it were, on his real goal, right? Because it gets really messed up after he uses it. Speaking about the brutality, like at the beginning of the movie, this is so brutal for Thor to be like just pushing an axe into this dude's chest. I love it, and the noise it makes.
I don't think his wound closes up.
It does. It's really brief.
Are you sure?
Stare at it while it happens.
Because when you see him back on where he's like a farmer.
Just watch. Everybody watching at home, watch Thanos. He's going to fix his chest here in like a few seconds. He's like, no more gauntlet.
Well, I guess I was looking at his back, not his chest.
Yeah, look at his chest when he portals away.
Josh Brolin's not even that ripped, so they like made him even more buff than.
Yeah, I think he's pretty well off because he did Cable and stuff, and he looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously they're gonna make him like look incredible. Now, I like comic book movies, but that does not mean I've read a bunch of comic books.
People.
Oh, yeah. So I don't really know what all this means. It's like the first time I saw Thanos at the end of Avengers. I was like, I don't know what that is. People like looked at me and they're like, who is that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, because we always looked at Jimmy for the answers.
I'm like, I'll look it up. Again, it would make more sense to me. So yeah, look at the gauntlet. It's all messed up, right?
Oh yeah, it's broken.
So watch this. He's going to click away and watch his chest. It's very brief.
Oh,
it like clicks out of him and then it's like, whoop, gone.
I guess so.
If you go frame by frame, you can see it.
I think he still has a little bit of scar though.
Oh, maybe.
He's a little hurt when he's walking around his home.
Maybe.
Thing.
What I wish is that instead of him just wanting to do this because he feels like he needs to, I really wish they would have played into the whole, like, he's in love with death storyline or Hela or something. Because, like, it's like he does all this and then he's like, yep, I did it. Like, kind of cross his arms like, grateful universe. Yep.
I remember when everybody started dying and I was like, Jimmy, what the fuck? And you were, like, freaking out.
I was like, oh, and then I started I was like, oh, man. I was like, Spidey's dead. I was like, I know people are dying. I love that the arm of, good old Bucky went to, like, not just the gun didn't go, but the arm did, right?
Yeah. Is he die?
No. The lack of music here is great.
Yeah, that's what really hit it home.
This is when I knew it wasn't real. When I saw Black Panther go, I was like, nope. They wouldn't do this to their amazing franchise. And that's the problem, is it's hard to stay in, like just the movie, you know? Like, to just look at this movie. This is the worst one, though. Like, I don't know. Spidey's pretty bad, too.
Well, Spidey's takes forever to take him. Some of them are real quick, and some of them it takes a while for it to take him.
I kept thinking, like, maybe if you're older, it goes quicker, but if you're younger, it takes a little bit longer. So, like, yeah. Poor Okoye. It's just like, what? Just no music and just like, what is happening? Ugh. I will say some of the people that went, I was really happy to see go. Like, I'm sorry, none of the Guardians, I really don't care about them. I was like, eh. Steady Quill, just gone. I hope they signed freaking Cumberbatch on for like 30 movies. Like, seriously, like, it's so good. The joke that everyone makes now. It's great too because, like, this is the thing that he was worried about most, right? Oh, look at, like, the armor started to turn first. That's really cool. Yeah, I remember seeing this in the trailer, and I thought maybe it was Pepper, because he's kind of, like, holding his hands here.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe Spidey dies. I like that Nebula's still around, though. I think that's really cool. It's just so somber, and there's, like, no one's, like, just outright just screaming and crying. Like, there's some of that here and there, kind of, but, like, the main team is just like, we lost. Like, we lost, finally. Like, you know.
Yeah. Because never before in a superhero movie has anybody lost, you know?
Well, not to this extent, right?
Yeah.
Just, oh god. Ugh. So good. And now the next movie is just going to be about Thanos' farming business. And that it's really hard for him to get a lot of people to buy from him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Just like a Harvest Moon.
He's just Harvest Moon, the movie with Thanos.
It's like when they put Thanos in Fortnite and he's just going around destroying shit.
See, it would have been cool here to see him, like, look out and, like, you know, Hela, or the personification of death was there, and he was finally
see, he's messed up. He's got
some... He's happy.
Yeah.
What is the end credit scene? I forget. It's the Captain Marvel thing.
Yeah, it's Captain Marvel.
Okay, we don't have to wait till then. But Levi, ending thoughts here while we kind of just wrap it up here for the lovely people who've joined us.
Still, there's just it's unrateable.
Unrateable.
It's unrateable.
You say unrateable. Okay. Does this hold up since you saw it?
Always.
Year?
This movie just gets me every time.
This movie.
I've seen it like 6 times now, and just every time it's just like. Ugh.
I don't know if I've seen it since the theaters all the way through, but I just had it kind of dedicated to memory. But it does. I will say this: that last 45 minutes does move pretty quickly.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's such a quick movie, and I guess it's only 2 hours and 30 minutes.
No, that's not a quick movie. 2.5 hours is a long time.
Well, the third one is, or the next one is like 3 hours, they said.
Yeah,
so.
Which we've heard rumors about there being an intermission, but by the time maybe even you watch this, you'll listen to this, we will have more information. I don't think they are doing an intermission, but...
Are we going to do the double feature where we go see both?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I need to, honestly.
I'd have to take off work.
Yeah. Favorite character? Least favorite character?
Favorite character is Doctor Strange. Least favorite character is Star-Lord.
Yeah, I want to be different, but I can't be. I completely agree with you. I love Doctor Strange in this movie. I love watching him go up against Tony.
Second favorite character, T'Challa.
T'Challa's good. There's not enough of him though, but I think it's very intentional. He just had his own movie.
Yeah. Second least favorite character, Black Widow.
Wait, who did you say was your least favorite the first time?
Star-Lord.
Yeah. Black Widow and Star-Lord are probably the worst. I think Tony Stark is also maybe one of his best performances. He gets a lot of stuff to do.
I think I like him much better in this than his standalone, like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think he shines when he's in an ensemble. So
sure. I'll still throw freaking Dinklage down at the bottom of that list, though.
Yeah, I don't really consider him like
it's like, why are you
my
here?
brain just like skips over every time that happens.
Yeah.
Why didn't he go with
he's just
wreak vengeance on?
Stay here. I love there's a little piano thing, and they just it's just nuts to me that this all came together the way it has so far.
For 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. Anyway, thanks to everybody who sat along with us and watched along with us or listened along with us, even if you didn't listen to or actually watch the movie and you just listened to us. We appreciate it. Levi, what hashtag should they tweet at either of us if they actually listen to this thing?
Hashtag 2 months.
Is it 2 months?
Yeah,
you're right. Okay, hashtag 2 months. If you're in the future and you've already watched the you could still do that and just maybe preface and let us know. But I am at JimmyGood013 on Twitter, and you can find Levi at
I'm at Levi Fletcher.
Perfect. And thank you to our patrons over on Patreon who picked this movie. We do appreciate it. I believe at the Centurion tier, which is $25 and up, they get to pick what movie we get to commentate on each month. So, but yeah, thank you again for listening and watching. And if you want to support us, going over there, just liking and sharing us with friends is good too. But thank you, Levi, for hanging out with me, sitting through this amazing film.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it was fun.
It was a pleasure. And until next time, everybody, just remember to adapt and overcome. Bye-bye.